Welcome to part 4 of the living truths of God's creation. In this final video, we will learn about the KAHANHA records, which in the East are wrongly called the Akashic records. I also reveal the sources of these teachings and the revelations they bring through spiritual channeling. Lord KAHANHA's 10th ray of recording and prophecy, unlike the other rays, is not transmitted through the universes. It is not for the use of mankind, for it is the great handbook of God. It is like a great mirror that records all the happenings in written and picture form, all that has ever taken place throughout all of existence, in heaven and earth and all worlds. Each person has a book of life showing their good deeds and wrongdoings. It results in our karma and what has to be resolved in each lifetime. These records determined if your name went into the book of life on Judgment Day to enter the New Jerusalem. Many who have entered its gates do not know it yet, being still caught up in the illusions of the world. For the lost and unchosen, nothing can be done, and they will wither and perish in much. Not of the Father's doing, but of their own free will in being in denial of who they are. In 1939, before the coming of Lord Yeshua and his second ascension, the Lord Michael, who is known as Archangel Michael, gave to the world the Essene teachings of the universes and the beginning times of Earth, in a book titled The Winds of Truth, the Great Writings of the Truths of God. This transpired through his daughter Shambharanis, who incarnated as a medium for this task. Assisted by her twin soul partner, Enhunio, she underwent a deep state trance that allowed Lord Michael to pen his words directly. 4 supplement books followed to expand the teachings before Shambharanis passed back to spirit in 1943 with her work completed. The Winds of Truth describe the formation of the earth, the birth of the first human beings, and the first earth ages of Yenini, as it was then called. All 12 solar lords were incarnate in part of themselves, with 12 temples and schools around the planet for imbibing knowledge about the cosmic rays. In Avalon, here in Glastonbury, was the temple of Lord Josias at the heart of the planet. Earth truly was heaven on earth for the first 3 million years of its development. Destruction came, though, through an attack by the evil Black Ray of Culloden, and many of the Earth's inhabitants perished in its horrors. A new people came to Earth from Jupiter, and the empires of Lamana, or Atlantis as it was known, began. They were influenced by the 13th ray, which resulted in the slow fall of man over 2 million years to unspeakable depths of degradation. So by the direct order of the Eternal One, a catalysm came to end its evil ways, and it sank beneath the waters. The book then reveals how the earth was saved by the coming of Lord Yeshua. Lord Ahura of the 7th ray of perfume came to earth in 775 BC to prepare the way for the Master. He was known as Ara the Good and founded the first Essene monastery on Tintagel Island in Cornwall, which birthed the first Celtic saints. At the end of his stay, he received the Holy Grail from the heavens and buried it within Chalice Hill in Glastonbury. He later incarnated as Yeshua's great uncle, Joseph of Arimathea, to bring the boy Yeshua to Glastonbury, for the young master to reconnect with Josias' temple of Yanini and the Holy Grail buried in Chalice Hill. In his final incarnation, he was born as King Arthur to raise the Christian spirit of Britain and defend the Grail from Saxon invaders. The final part describes the nature and application of the 13 solar rays and introduces the solar logos. The booklet, The Testament of Love, has messages in homage from all the solar lords on the occasion of Lord Yeshua's second ascension. The booklet My Son, by Maria his mother, describes the life of Yeshua from his birth through childhood to his teaching mission, murder and resurrection. The booklet The 12 Solar Planes describes each solar lord and the beings that inhabit the solar planes where the rays are sent to Earth. The booklet The Universes of God describes the nature of the 12 universes surrounding the Holy of Holies, the home of God, with an explanation of the origin of sin and how it fully manifested in our 12th universe. Finally, the booklet The Records of Egypt and Hayyipta gives the history and events before records began, describing Lord Mikel's temple in Yanini, the raising of the 12 pyramids by the power of thought, the carving of the Great Sphinx, and the fall of Egypt through the practicing of hypnotism and black magic. These sets of books are a universal vision and grounding for the Essene teachings that are now being released to the world. These new Essene teachings, I am a witness of the spiritual channeling and a participant in the recordings and preparing them for the world. I first met Sister Dominic in April 2018 at a talk she gave about her traditional Native American medicine experiences. I discovered she had recently released the first part of the spiritual channeled autobiography of King Arthur. Being a seeker of the truth about the Arthurian legends, I offered my services as a storyteller, and we produced a CD version of the book with a guided meditation. Sister Dominic is in constant communication with the hierarchy of God, so in conversation with her, their advice and insights is always part of the mix. On the 30th of July, 2019, I recorded her in a deep state trance, channeling the Holy Spirit, where he gave a final world warning to humanity. Then again, on the 11th of August, the Holy Spirit gave an urgent heartfelt plea to come home to my love or die. In April 2020, Lord Yahweh declared that all the Nazarean Essene solar teachings be amalgamated into one name of the Christ Rose Sanctuary. I volunteered to set up a website as a virtual portal for these teachings. Then in August, Lord Yeshua declared that he will come to give teachings to members of his Nazarean Essene community through 3 monthly Zoom meetings. On the 17th of September, Lord Yeshua spoke through Sister Dominic live on Zoom. When he started speaking, you could feel the power of his androgynous presence addressing your whole being. He spoke of how since his ascension, he has continued to rise beyond spirit form into light in the heavenly worlds of existence. The channeling is achieved through the setting aside of Sister Dominic's mental body So through Christ-like vibration, they connect soul to soul for Lord Yeshua to speak using her voice box. For the second meeting, Lord Yahweh came with his heavenly hosts, and Sister Dominic's skin, white hair and dress turned to a golden color in the Christ light. This was the first time that Lord Yahweh had visited our planet. He is overjoyed to speak to his children, that we can now get to meet him and know that he is closer to us than we are to ourselves, and that he loves us more than we can know. He and Yeshua came in honor of Sister Dominic through her work in this lifetime, for she saved the life of all men in this world and above. In June 2004, a volcano in Wyoming in America was about to explode that would have blown this planet apart. Sister Dominic brought forth through her medicine with the Native Americans of Wyoming and her indigenous medicine friends, who gathered to her in a ceremonial field on the plateau of the caldera that was about to explode. She put it out 400 miles across the top of that volcano. She took the power out of it in the name of the Father. Yeshua had taught such. If through the heart of love you tell the mountain to move from here to there, it will move. She did this, and it moved for her through the grace of love. No country in this world would have existed after that explosion. The sea would have covered the lot in the bang. We are only here now because of her actions and ceremonies of love. Sister Dominic's higher self is the Magdalene of old, and not much truth is known about her. She and Yeshua were one being in the beginning, and have traveled for millions of years together and apart, carrying the same message of the stars. They were Adam and Eve in the beginning times and seeded all beings. In Palestine, they were both androgynous and never married or had children. They were strictly master and devotee. She committed to memory all of Yeshua's teachings and was the first to meet the resurrected Lord. She was the guiding light that picked up the other disciples after they fled in fear for their lives after Yeshua's crucifixion. From her circle of love for Yeshua, the apostles reunited to witness his ascension and receive the Holy Spirit. Now, though, they are recently married as one and apart, and sit on the Father and Mother's thrones in the new Trinity of Peace with I Am. You can watch and listen to the Zoom meetings on the Christ Rose Sanctuary website and YouTube channel. You can open your heart to the words of Lord Yahweh and Lord Yeshua speaking through the Magdalene, to know there is a living, loving God that you can draw close to and speak with, and you can meet anew the ascended Lord Yeshua, who is your intimate friend and brother. We are soon to publish a booklet of the transcripts from the Zoom meetings entitled, I Am the Light of the World. Early in the evening of the first Zoom meeting, a yogi friend of Sister Dominic was meditating at home when he was directed by the Christ to go to the orchard at the base of Glastonbury Tor Burr and photograph his arrival. On the cover is the picture he took of Lord Yeshua arriving in Avalon with his 144,000 strong Venetian royal escort. This concludes my 4-part presentation of the living truths of God's creation. I am available for storytelling talks, interviews, and for facilitating talking and vision circles. And I wholeheartedly recommend that you seek out the Nazarean Essene teachings on the Christ Rose Sanctuary website. So peace be with you, and many blessings to you all.